Olá e bem-vindos ao canal. Vamos continuar então com o Lone Echo e vamos ver o que é que acontece hoje.
Warning to any receiving. Hostile equipment in the area designated biotorpedo. Devices will seek vessels. Proximity detonation is triggerable even by personnel. Recommend vessels maintain minimum safe distance of 100 kilometers. Personnel should evacuate immediately.
It would appear Delta Squad has become familiar with the operation of the torpedoes. Perhaps that is what caused their vessel to crash.
Given that they began investigating the torpedoes in close proximity, that result is highly probable.
An energy pulse from the anomaly.
Is it still stable?
I believe so, at least relatively. Nonetheless, we should remain focused on finding a torpedo if we hope to do so before the anomaly collapses.
Yet another Delta. It seems the battle here did not go well.
Agreed. The biomass was already incredibly dangerous in my time. As we know, this century will have it far worse.
Operational status report. Delta Squad operating at minimum capability. Activation pods are offline. Delta Actual and Delta 9. KIA. Delta 13. MIA. Delta 6. Active, but unable to perform reboot protocols. If you are receiving, forward to Titan Command and authentication code. Gamma 7 reach.
Apollo, should we respond?
Negative. The interference is still too great. Nonetheless, I will continue monitoring the situation.
Another pulse.
Magnitude minimum. I believe we still have ample time before our forcible return to the future.
An activation pod.
It is as Delta 6's transmission indicated. They are unable to reboot. Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. There's a faint distress signal emitting from a cavern just ahead. Its frequency is similar to Delta 6's earlier transmission. We should investigate. Shields at 95%. Distress signal located.
It's a CubeSat, one of Delta Squad's recon units.
It appears to be in need of our support.
Delta Unit, I'm picking up your signal in proximity to Reconnaissance Satellite 3. Is that you, 13? Or was it Jack?
Jack, we have insufficient time for complications. We should keep our relation to this combat unit as simple as possible. I will conduct all communication with you privately, and I must insist we maintain the persona of Delta 13.
Very well, Apollo. Delta 6, this is Delta 13. I read you. ReconSat 3 was engaged by multiple hostiles. I moved to assist.
I see. 13. Your return is peculiar, but appreciated. It appears ReconSat 3 would not have survived its perimeter sweep without your aid. Though, what is your status? Is your pod operational?
Affirmative. All systems nominal. Rally at your position?
Acknowledged. ReconSat 3 will lead the way. Destination, Kronos 2 Bridge. I will require your assistance in assessing the bio-torpedoes.
Acknowledged. We are en route. 13 out.
Well done, Jack. Your replication of tactical speech was convincing.
Thank you, but I prefer not to engage in deception.
Given your social function, that is understandable. However, as a tactical solution, deception can be highly effective. Considering the importance of our mission, I trust we will remain covert.
If we must. Another pod.
I will ensure that a similar tactical error is not made with our pod.
How?
I am an advanced tactical AI. Between situational analysis, predictive heuristics, and extensive experience, I am confident my results will exceed those of my ancestors.
Sat 3, I can see your signal light from here. Proceed with caution. There are hostiles. Interference from the anomaly. Delta 13, status. Are you experiencing malfunctions again?
Negative. No malfunctions detected.
Acknowledged. Proceed with caution. There are hostiles in the area.
Understood.
Sat 3 is detecting a nearby threat. Advise clearing the area before you proceed.
Threat resolved.
Additional threats detected. I recommend enacting the sweep and clear protocol.
We should keep moving. Shields at 95%. Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
It appears you have arrived here intact. Well done.
We need to locate the torpedoes as soon as possible.
Thank you, Delta 6. We should continue our mission immediately.
Agreed. Primary objective: threat assessment of the hostile devices. Secondary objective: establish a warning beacon for passing vessels.
You are unable to reboot, correct? Perhaps I should take the primary objective.
Agreed. A further encounter with the bio-torpedoes would likely result in operational failure on my part. Please avert your headlamp.
However, I can still provide some assistance. By leveraging the Kronos 2 systems, I have already performed a sensor sweep.
In doing so, I have identified a large number of active torpedoes in a nearby clearing. The results are available here, on the holotable, if you wish to review them.
Can you push the objective to my ARM computer?
Affirmative.
I've also included the clearing's coordinates
As the associated location marker, should you need it.
Acknowledged.
You may proceed through here to reach the clearing. I will begin efforts toward our secondary objective shortly. Report back here once you have completed your assignment.
Copy that.
Interference from the Astray's radiation will continue beyond the arrival of the Ithaca. It is unlikely Delta 6's secondary objective will be accomplished.
We are fortunate to have their assistance, though. Locating torpedoes has saved us considerable time.
Agreed. The alignment of our objectives is fortunate indeed.
Delta 6, you reactivated Kronos 2 sensors to obtain these readings.
Correct. As you know, the R&D priority protocol indicates we must collect detailed information firsthand. These readings are merely a foundation for your assessment.
Of course. Delta 6, what happened while I was MIA?
You wish to understand what occurred after the anomaly's departing pulse rendered you offline?
Affirmative.
Very well. Shortly after that moment, one of the nearby torpedoes activated. Athena attempted evasive maneuvers, but the device's tracking was superior. A further torpedo activation resulted in a nearly simultaneous squad wipe. We then rebooted aboard the shuttle as it crashed. Athena went offline. Delta Actual ordered we continue our threat assessment while working to re-establish our reboot protocols. We failed. Eventually, the anomaly reappeared. A brief duration after that, you returned. That coincidence is peculiar.
Apollo, if Delta Squad was not able to safely perform their assessment, how will we collect our data on the base genetic material?
Unlike the rest of Delta Squad, you have my assistance. I will bring the entirety of my electronic countermeasure suite to bear against the torpedoes. I am certain I will be able to disable their proximity detonators.
Fair enough. I suppose an advanced tactical AI is quite capable of tipping the scales.
Indeed. To that end, I shall now reconfigure your threat scanner for inspecting the torpedo incubators. Stand by. Reconfiguration complete. Your threat scanner should now be able to generate a detailed mapping of the biomassa's base genetic material, though the range of the instrument has been somewhat diminished.
I suppose that's a trade-off we'll have to accept.
Indeed. The anomaly is becoming more active. We need to hurry. Dr. Harlan and the captain may be close to having expended the fuel cell.
A biomass torpedo, already detonated. Is there any value in scanning it?
Negative. Dr. Harlan has already gleaned as much as possible from such specimens. Shields at 95%. Shields at 95%. Shields at 30%.
Apollo, I've located a torpedo. Is this close enough to scan?
Unfortunately, no. We need to reach the forward end of the torpedo, where the base genetic material is housed.
You're certain that we're masked from the detection?
Yes, my countermeasures are holding. It should be safe to approach.
13. I've connected conduits from the Kronos activation bay to a mobile reactor. I believe I can repurpose some of the bay's components to act as a warning beacon. With sufficient power, it may be able to overcome the interference.
Acknowledged. I'm still proceeding with the threat assessment.
Copy that. Delta 6 out.
Apollo, is it possible Delta 6 could sufficiently power the beacon to warn Ithaca? Apollo, is this range sufficient for a scan?
It should suffice. However, the torpedo's shielding is denser than anticipated. For a successful scan, it appears we'll need to expose the base genetic material. I believe that by interfacing with the torpedo, I should be able to reveal the incubator at the forward end.
Do you need me to do anything?
Possibly. I cannot be certain until I have actually accessed the torpedo's systems. I advise maintaining full tactical readiness.
Understood.
I will begin once you designate the incubator for scanning.
Incubator reached.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Interfacing now. This is more complex than I had.
Apollo?
The torpedo's defense protocols have activated. It has locked the incubator and is attempting to power its main drive. It's beginning launch procedures. I will stall for as long as possible. I'm opening access hatches on the front end. The manual overrides within them should trigger a maintenance mode.
Override activated.
Perfect. Take care of the one on the opposite side as well.
Second override activated.
Well done, though the launch procedure is still online. Perhaps we can overheat the main drive. Enabling maintenance mode gave us access to the torpedo's cooling cells. Remove them. The cells are locked behind a protective housing. Lower it. Remove the cells so we can overheat the torpedo jack. Jack, the launch procedure is near completion.
Cells removed.
Perfect. You will need to remove the second array on the opposite side as well. Jack is launching. Get clear of the torpedo immediately. Fortunately, I believe there are additional torpedoes in the vicinity. What we learned here will make us more prepared for a second attempt. Shields at 95%. Shields at 30%. Shields at 95%. Shields at 95%.
I now have the beacon powered. Unfortunately, the range is being severely limited by radiation and interference from the anomaly. I will attempt to boost the signal, though success appears unlikely.
Copy that, Delta 6. 13 out.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Ok, isto não está fácil.
Another pulse.
Ora lá ver se nós temos
Jack,
alternativas.
the anomaly is pulsing regularly now. It must be close to collapsing. Shields at 50%.
É sério. Ok, o caminho não é este. Vamos ver se o caminho é por aqui.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Pulse register.
A ver se a gente consegue chegar ali a ver.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
E foi o tempo que tivemos hoje. Não se esqueçam de deixar ficar o like, de subscrever e de partilhar. E de resto, fiquem bem, até à próxima. DragonWolf.